last time on Clinical Theurgy. I'm sorry, Conscripted. Welcome once again, and maybe one last time, to Conscripted, episode 64. How is everybody feeling?
I'm feeling fine. I have so much out of character knowledge that this will be fine. It's 64, not 65. There's, we're just like the best players ever. We're safe. That's fine. Everything will be fine. Arvos has missions from gods. It can't go wrong. Thoth will protect me with his loving embrace. I know it.
It's good that you think that. So
we finally find out how much Mal had to get pushed to do something out of planning.
So, Mal, you will the crown and the throne to destroy themselves. And for a moment, time pauses. Everything around you in the room changes, freezes. No one exists but you, Maldronicus Ironhand, and the voice you can hear right now. Did you really think that I would allow someone to just will away my greatest creation? I suppose I shouldn't be surprised that a man like yourself would feel such things. You do think yourself so very powerful. In some ways, I admire that in you. Sometimes, it's like you really think you run things around here, like a man after my own history. It's not a surprise you were driven here. But you're not like me, are you? You can't actually accomplish what I have. You're merely a cog in the machine. A meaningless wheel set into motion by a series of actions that have no meaning themselves. You sit there now on a throne you don't understand, motivated by a voice you don't understand. All for a world that will one day just cease forever. With no rhyme, no reason, no memory. But even with all of that being true, I still can't get over the fact that you would be so willing to destroy something so beautiful, that so many people had to die in order for me to create. I guess you just can't appreciate good art. Well, that can't go without punishment of some sort, can it? But I'll tell you what, I have it in me to let you decide your own punishment. I think I'm a very fair sort of guy, or at least I can be. So normally, the defense mechanism, if someone sits down on the chair and asks that the chair be destroyed, is the chair itself will impale you with blades of force energy, taking you out for the very desire to ruin the kingdom that I built. And as you wither and die, your soul will be drawn into the chair to continue to fuel the seat that powers it all. However, there is so much more that can be accomplished if I give you a chance to survive. So, you have two choices. One, things can be resolved as normal, and you can be filled with holes. Or two, somehow, Mysteriously, the chair does not do what it's supposed to. A miracle, if you will, from worlds beyond worlds. And you realize that the crown on your head must stay on your head in order for your friends to leave. That the captain must go down with his ship. You do get the chance to survive there, but it will be up to you and the ticking clock, Mr. Ironhand. But if you fail, your soul will forever become a guardian to this place. It will be trapped like the ones that you freed, destined to keep this place from any further people reaching its inner sanctum. So, Mr. Ironhand, what will you choose? And don't go thinking you can ask another voice out there for answers. There is no other voice right now but me.
Well, that was a lot, Mr. I don't think I caught your name.
You're not
Start asking.
supposed to catch it.
Oh, good. Then it's just like all my other social encounters where I forget to ask. Well, I certainly would not like to be filled with holes, but going back to being a slave also doesn't exactly seem like something that I ever want to do again.
But in my second option, you have a chance to not be.
Well, the first option, I end up dead and a slave. And the second option, I maybe don't end up dead and a slave.
Well, in the first option, you don't end up a slave. You end up a bit of arcane energy used to make sure that the castle remains as powerful as it needs to be. You don't exist as anything other than a material component in a spell, just like many of the rest of the dwarves that came before you.
Oh, that's... I'm gonna be turned into coal, is what you're saying.
Effectively.
Oh.
But it's peaceful.
Can I ask where we are right now?
You're still here. You see your friends are there. You'll find that you can't move, though. We are suspended, having this discussion in a place outside of time, but within some space. But you'll notice your thoughts are probably almost of two minds, Mr. Ironhand. Or should I say, young Daniel?
I've never heard that name before. But if there's much that I don't know about my past, I could believe that I was called that at some point.
You are called that at many points.
I'm surprised that no one's actually tried this before.
Oh, many have. The difference is, most of them are not as interesting to watch as you are. See, it's not entertaining when some rogue sneaks in, manages to find out how to get in the room, grabs your crown, and thinks to himself, I'm going to destroy the empire of the Dwarven Kingdom. Those people just get to sit there and die and become fuel for the machinery. Sometimes I even enjoy it. You get to draw them in, give them the bait, and they will come to it. There's great riches in the castle, great reward. But
is that the long-term play here? You try and draw people like us in to keep fueling your machine?
Yes, and it's worked so far. So many of you have come. This one was different, though. Your motivations weren't the same. Not as motivated by riches you were, but instead motivated to help your friend and grab an ancient blade that time forgot.
Admittedly, I sometimes don't even know how I end up in these spots, but I will say that the craftsmanship is impressive.
Well, I can't take all the credit for that. The dwarves did the visual craftsmanship elements, but much of what you found much of what your other self has found very entertaining has been my work.
I if I take option 2, is there some corner case that we could reach that you find some other way to power this castle? Doesn't involve enslaving souls for the rest of their lives?
It will be much harder for souls to reach this place. You're basically plummeting it into the ocean. It's not going to be an easy thing for people to find. I can't sustain holding it up. I don't have the ability to break the rules of this world. Just suspend them or bend them just enough. I only have limited control here, not all of it. So it will go into the sea. But this is my creation, and I get to define some of the rules that happen here. I can make the chair not kill you, but in order for your friends to leave, you will need to keep the crown on to make sure they can teleport home. And if you have the helm on, the crown on, you yourself cannot leave, because the crown will not allow it.
See. So I have a date with the ocean, is what you're saying?
You do indeed, Mr. Ironhand. You do indeed. But perhaps you're a fish somewhere in one of your lives, and it will help you get out. You are a crafty, crafty man, and this place was built to be quite watertight. So you may, in fact, be able to find a way out. I would not put it past you.
Well, honestly, after everything I've seen up here, I'm not as afraid of death as I maybe once was. If that's a goal of your little castle, it does it quite well.
Thank you. I am very proud of what I've done.
In case I ever do get off of here, assuming I don't just sink to the bottom, I know you won't tell me your real name, but a memento for my book, perhaps?
I do so wish I could. The rules here are very strange. For me, anyway. I'm not like what you might think. I am not a god. I am not even really a man anymore. I am but a memory twisting the world you exist upon. Persistent, strong, but in the background, every decision made.
I know a man like that, but you seem a little bit more edgy than he is. Suppose the two of you might even know each other at some point.
I know everybody.
The real question is, does he know of you?
That depends on whom you're speaking of. If he talks in riddles, he knows too much of me.
That's what I figured. Well, don't suppose if you're going to tell me your name, and I don't suppose there's much else to say other than I appreciate the craftsmanship of what you've done here. I just wish that you had done it for better intents. I don't know why all you ultra powerful beings just feel needs to fuck with people.
Oh, I had more meaning than this. This world was supposed to be mine. This was a way to stop people from stopping me from what I wanted to do.
And then they put your little creation up in the sky.
They fucked up my plans when they took my country from me. It was mine and I worked hard to earn it. So many plans upon plans and schemes upon schemes. All for one group of people that couldn't even keep their own decisions straight. To fuck it all up.
It really is the chaotic ones that are the most wild to control, I suppose.
They are impossible. Unless you can get to where I am now. Then it becomes a little easier. You just feed them the right bait. They'll bite eventually.
Did you feed us the bait to come up here?
In the way. Some of the bait was already there.
I know you can't tell me your name, but that one's an interesting one. I feel I actually won't even remember it once this is done. I'm constantly struggling to even remember it, but I would, for my own curiosity, if even for a moment, just to understand, how did that thing end up in my friend?
He made a choice that he did not realize he was making. He agreed to be a vessel for it. It was the only way he would survive. His body made a choice. A choice to take it in exchange for living. It's hard to stop love. Very, very hard to stop love.
And in doing so, he betrayed his comrades. He betrayed his own humanity.
He was no longer himself. The man you knew, Cassius, and the man behind Cassius would never have made those decisions if he didn't have to.
Well, you at least claimed a lot of us up here. I hope that is the last of it, but I suppose we will have to see about that.
In some ways, I hope it is not. I would like to see you make it out of this, but there are limits to what I can do.
Well, thank you for not impaling me on your chair, sir. I'll try and make this entertaining for you, I guess.
Good. Really, just make it entertaining for him. He's going to be a bit confused.
Who?
So, Mal, you are sitting on the chair, thinking about its destruction. No way. And nothing happens.
Is time still frozen?
Time? What? Time isn't frozen. What are you talking about?
Are people moving again, or
Everybody's moving right now. You're sitting in the chair. Nothing's happened.
Do I remember the conversation I just had?
What conversation?
Okay.
Anybody know what he's talking about?
No idea.
I've been able to do everything in this castle. I studied this throne. I can't. It won't do anything.
What are you trying to make it do?
Wasn't it obvious?
No, you said you had one more thing you wanted to do, and I'm standing here waiting for you to tell me what it was.
I was going to rip this throne into pieces and send this castle back to whatever hell it came from.
Maybe
Wasn't
not
that
do that
clear?
when I'm standing right here.
Yeah, I'd prefer to be able to get out of here. I don't want to die in this place again.
Do you even know what happens if you try to destroy that thing while you're sitting on it? What kind of madman are you, Maldronicus?
Oh, I mean, I've watched half my party die. I've watched half our party
Something like
repeatedly
that,
try to kill themselves. I guess you could say that I'm a little mad at the moment, but not completely.
So
A
isn't it
little
time
death.
isn't it time that some of them should live?
A little death drives our leader mad.
Erebos Ra, I feel like I'm sorry. I'm speaking in circles right now. I need you to take Ra, and I need you to go back to the mansion. I want you. This is very specific. I want you every 10 days or however long you can do it. You must gently repose the bodies. Sooner or later, you will find a way. I know it. You are very crafty individuals. You will find a way to get them back. Every one of them. You just you must be diligent. I want you to keep a log of it. You're very studious. I've seen you with your scrolls. Just make sure the bodies are staying preserved. Find the diamonds. Do all that. You understand?
What do you mean? You'll be there, right?
Sure. Let's go with that. you just know that I'm worried. Probably you don't even have to roll it. I need to keep this castle maintained. If you can't teleport out if I'm not maintaining this. It's the only I felt when Erebos left with the bodies that the only reason he was able to leave was because I was allowing him.
So then what's the plan for you after we leave?
I don't actually know. I haven't thought that far ahead.
Wouldn't that be good to figure out before we just leave you here by yourself?
Well, I'm open to any ideas, but I suspect we don't have much time. And
Arvos would like to approach the throne in Maldronicus.
Mm-hmm. You can.
Does anything happen as I approach?
No.
I go to strike Maldronicus.
Maldronicus, I need you to give me a concentration check. This is not to defensively maintain a spell, by the way.
I know, I've got my separate macros.
Okay. Yeah, so you hold it together as he slaps you.
Our fearless leader, driven mad by this throne, it seems. Next time you threaten my life by some sort of self-righteous act to explode this whole place in front of us while I'm 5 foot away from it, I'll end you myself. Now, the Maldronicus that talked to me back in that camp to sign my life away, you're so easily to throw your life away without a plan, an escape.
I sometimes think better on the fly, if that makes sense.
It doesn't. What kind of... This is the difference between, I guess, your kind and wizards. You don't use your intellect. Your main source of strength is planning the upcoming challenge and overcoming it before it even starts. If you don't make it back, I will not help resurrect those fools in the mansion. I'll burn the place down myself.
Please no. I would like someplace to sleep.
I will try everything, Eros, but understand that my magics are not of the gifts that you have.
What happens if you try to cast a spell that's not on that you normally don't know?
I'm still limited by my bloodline, Eros.
A scroll of something that you wouldn't normally be able to cast, but still of the arcane nature. Can you cast it?
If I'm lucky.
I have a scroll that teleports you somewhere. You want it?
I suppose it could be a backup plan.
Oh, now you're in favor of plans.
Well, I just know that as long as I wear this crown, nothing seems to be able to actually influence me. Your magic whatever gifts you have can't help. I suspect that, like trying to cast a scroll could potentially get me out, but no one can teleport out of here if someone wearing the crown isn't allowing it.
So what happens? We leave, and then what? You take the crown off and fall to your doom?
I mean, we could phrase it a little bit more eloquently than that.
So why don't you take the crown off and cast a spell?
Because the second I take the crown off, we're plummeting to the ocean, and I trust my ability to swim more than yours, Erebos.
I don't even know if you'd be able to hold your stomach casting a spell in a moving castle, plummeting millions of feet a second. Probably wouldn't even be able to get a word out.
I have ways to slow my descent. Perhaps while wearing this crown, I can manipulate the castle in a similar manner. Maybe it would buy me just enough time to figure out a way out of here.
So you're saying I can't cast anything on you right now while you're wearing that crown? Even if you willingly allow it?
Try it. If you so please, but...
I will try it, you jerk. I'll try and mage armor him.
It does nothing. You reach your hand in and you can feel as your hand starts to get close, the magic energy from your hand feels like it's being sort of pushed away. You can feel like a buildup at the end of your arm, and if you pull your hand back, you'll feel like the energy reach your fingertips again. And if you try to like quickly push it forward, you'll feel it like push back, like somebody pushing against water in a tube.
Oh, so the spell doesn't actually expend. It's like I just can't touch him.
You just cannot. You cannot touch him. The magic that you have in your hand will not resolve against anything.
Okay, can I resolve it against myself?
Yes.
All right, I'll just mage over myself.
I can still cast stuff on myself, right? If I try.
The spell negates all magical energy that is in your immediate radius. So you can cast things outward, but you can't have anything affect you.
Oh, okay. Does any buffs I've had on then like get dispelled when I put this crown on?
The buffs were all dispelled when you put the crown on.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Sorry, I did not hear that if you said that.
It's okay. I may not have said that, because when I said the crown takes away magical energy, I think I made an assumption.
Yeah. Okay, if I know that, then I probably wouldn't cast my spells.
Okay.
I've spent more time than I care to admit caring about your life. But you have saved me more than once, so to clear my conscience, I'll do what I can for you. I'll leave these for you if they help. If not, at least I have a clear conscience. I'll hand him I open my haversack and I summon to my palm specific scrolls. I take out a scroll of teleport to Kazaram.
Mm-hmm.
I give him a scroll of gate. Oh wait, I know what that spell does, right?
Yep.
Let me just look it up quickly if this is any possible help to him at all. If you were to get it off. First, it creates an interdimensional connection between you and whatever. It's some sort of dimension spell. I give it to him. Taking off my character sheet. And I have here listed a scroll Tonelli gave me. I never looked at it or knew what it was. I'll just give it to him.
That was one of the scrolls from when we found the forge and you had to do those scrolls.
Yeah, I know where it's from. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
He gave you a stack of them, and I never read this one, so I never knew what it was. But it's where the scroll of gate came from.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm taking off that mystery scroll, the scroll of teleport to Kazaram, and the scroll of gate.
Okay.
I leave them in their nice scroll cases, leather scroll cases that I had, and I'll just lay them or I'll hand them to Maldronicus.
Out of curiosity, do I still have Maldronicus's bag of holding or whatever from when we went to the...
Don't you dare hand that to him.
That's what I'm just asking, do I still have it? Because I know you gave it to us when we went and did all that stuff. So I'm just clarifying if I still have it. I'll assume that's a yes.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason not to assume that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the other one you said?
So you should have a scroll of gate, mystery scroll, and a scroll of teleport to Kazarum specifically. I'll warn you, I'm not sure if those scrolls will even work or help you, but it's the best I can offer you.
Actually, I believe, surprisingly, there's still a check, but it's actually not as bad. Because teleport actually is a mega spell. I've just never had a fucking level
18, right?
I guess it actually only be 13 megas.
Oh, okay. They get it
it's
at
a
4?
Fifth level. Fifth level, yeah.
Oh, they have it's 6 level spells for Magus? I thought they had 5 levels.
It's a Magus 5 spell, but they get 5th level at level 13.
Okay.
I'll warn you, I've experienced trouble trying to cast a spell on horseback or in any unusual circumstance. I assume you'll probably have difficulty trying to cast spells while plummeting who knows how fast to the sea. Just in case you weren't aware, I'm sure you were, but... Is there anything in your bag you want before we leave?
What is in my bag? I don't suppose a bunch of Golemium or Mithril will be useful.
Probably just weigh you down in the water.
You're not taking my mithril, I earned that.
Yeah, let's take my black daggers. See what sort of shit this turns into.
Yeah, I'll pull them out and hand them to you.
Ah, the fucker's taking us out again!
Ugh.
We don't hear that, I assume.
I know.
No.
Like, ugh.
I don't suppose you daggers know how to swim, right?
The fuck do you mean swim?
Oh, we're going to the bottom of the ocean unless we figure out a way to...
You son of a bitch! You would never!
Oh, I mean, it's happening regardless of whether I want it to or not. So I suppose we're gonna have to work together for once, friends. How does that sound?
Fuck you! I hope you
building?
die! We'll send crews down to fetch the body.
Pleasant as always. Pleasant as always. Well, let's see. I think that's literally all that seems that would be useful in this situation in my bag. Yeah, long swords. Oh, please, arrows, these books. Yeah, I'm gonna take out my 2 books. I put a lot of time into these. I was hoping to find a publisher at some point, but if I don't make it back, can you please, like, find someone good? You know, like, someone with a little bit more of that charisma thing that I don't really have.
You really expect him to find a publisher for your books at this point?
I mean, he's a academic. He must appreciate the sharing of knowledge and
I'll
certainly not
when you...
stealing knowledge away from people or anything like that.
What? Anyways,
Yeah.
I'm just labeling these 2 books from Al, and yeah, I'll take them, put in my handy haversack amongst the other books, and I'll say I'll publish them when I see you again.
Probably should have given them to me, just saying.
Why? You're no good with books.
Okay then.
You already... Erebos already has all these books, right? I figured just give him a few more. Why not? Like,
Exactly.
he has a large
Sure,
collection.
sure, sure. But yeah, who's gonna carry out your possible, like, last request? Arvos or Ra? Oh, clearly.
Before we leave, should you not return, what is this military business? What's going to happen to us if they're probably going to reassign us, make me do something I'm not going to want to do? Without you, there is no Arvos in this military. I hope you know that.
Yes, but
you don't
so
return
long
in
as
a few days and they come knocking. I feel sorry for the fool to come looking for me. Pray it not be Tonelli.
What are you gonna do against them?
I'll erase his fucking mind.
Oh, when did you learn how to do that?
I'm working on it.
That's frightening.
Erebos, there's something I will ask of you, if not. Tonelli is a good soul. a very supportive person. I think he can see reason. He can understand that at this point, if I'm gone as well, that this unit has dismantled. I think you could.
And you think that will end my conscription? Were you not there when he insisted I sign and not work on a consultant basis? The man is of one mind.
I mean, to be fair, to some extent, the terms of your conscription were that I'm alive. If I am dead...
don't believe so. I believe I'm conscripted whether you're alive or dead. I'll just make a quick...
You think it could actually be either way?
Really?
Yes. So, certain things may have been discussed, but the document wasn't really pored over. So you're not entirely sure which side could be correct. Plus, the military has all kinds of loopholes they put into their contracts.
I'm not willing to bet that that's true, Maldronicus. The conscripted aren't known for being lenient. I've heard tales of men and women pouring their lives into this thing and never getting out.
Yes,
I'm just saying, if you plan on living, make it quick. Because there might be irreparable damage that happens in a week or two if they come calling. If there's no Maldronicus, there's no Arvus in that conscription. When I look at Ra, I'm not sure what your plans are, but this has been a disaster.
I'm not sure what my plans are either.
What about that council you both were raving about? They don't want you back?
I'm sure maybe if the military no longer has use for me, I may be sent back. I don't know for certain.
Well, I've never been one for long goodbyes. Is there anything else you have for us? And I'll look at Maldronicus.
No, for a moment, I was tempted to goad your ego into trying to help me get out, but I think if something happens to you, the wrath that your parents would exact on so many people for it, I can't have that on my conscience. If anything comes of this, I want you to get back safe and make sure that your parents know that you are alive.
Don't worry, I plan on having words with my family very shortly.
You seem different, Erebos. I hope you remember at times that I know your father is a dick, your mother is quite disturbingly protective. But you can write a better story than they can. I'm sure of it. But not if you resort to their same antics.
I plan on writing a fantastical story. It's the next chapter in their lives, and it will have me not in it. Some redactions will probably be made in their previous chapters, removing me from it. That's my plans for them.
No one will know anyway, right?
Well, if that is what finds you your peace that you've been looking for, Erebos.
I haven't forgotten your words and your actions. You have proven yourself a powerful ally and an even better friend. Erebos will outstretch his arm the same. I believe I insisted on that arm handshake, forearm handshake, when he convinced me to conscript instead of piecing out. So I'll kind of just try to like recreate that moment where like I finally agreed to join the military to like keep things together, and then I'll just like offer out my forearm to him, kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll grasp it.
Don't die, you idiot.
I'll try.
Well, Ra, time to confess your love for Maldronicus, or we're leaving. Any surprises we have, or what?
I wish I could help you, Mal, but no, sorry, no love confession here.
I'm sorry that we are lied to about the knowledge up here, Ra. I know you wanted your answers, but important to remember, it's not always the gods, it's what the gods stand for, and you've been a estimable follower of Shashat's. I'm sure if she was around, she would see that. But you don't need her to appreciate that to keep doing good things.
I didn't honestly expect to find much answers here, but I hoped. But I will stay loyal as always, and maybe one day I'll be lucky and she'll come back. Or I'll slowly lose all my powers. One way or the other. We'll see.
Yes. I hope that falchion hits hard.
It's not. Fuck it. I want to do it. It'll be cool. Arvos extends out his forearm again to Maldronicus and says, "Ra, do the same on his other side."
I'll be confused, but I'll do it.
And then I'll grab Ra's other free hand, so we're kind of like making a triangle.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say, "Put your heads together."
Okay.
And then Arvos will give a silent, not like a blessing, but they'll just say, "Thoth, if you're there, this fool has yet to prove more worth. And also, I want to steal some of his memories and test out some spells on him. Don't let him die here." And then I'll like open up an eye and say, "Ra, say a prayer for the man."
Yeah, I'll say a silent prayer to Sascha, even though I don't think anyone's there to hear it, but I'll do it anyways.
After like a minute or two of silence, unless what you want to like actually say what your prayer is.
I would just probably be like, Sascha, if you're actually out there and can do anything, just help save him.
Yeah. So after a few moments of silence, Arvos will release the party from his grasp and arches back and take out the component. I don't know if teleport has any components. I don't think so. But gesture to start casting teleport.
Yep.
And grab a hand on Ron and look longingly at Maldronicus. Farewell.
You will
and
watch.
I will cast teleport.
Where are you heading?
The mansion.
As I see him casting, I'm going to do the same. Drop the mental barriers so that he can leave safely.
Thought I was going to get you there. You watch as slowly Maldronicus disappears from view. I am very annoyed at the way that Roll20 works. After a few moments, you feel the world around you re-manifest. You find yourselves home once again.
We'll have to do something about these corpses. I imagine we teleport in the same spot. There's like 3 bodies there. So.
You know that you can. Sorry, I was just curious to see. You know that you can split us, right?
You can split us on. You can do that.
If you drag my name down, like at the bottom left where it's like Hey Steve Camera and whatnot, you can drag that up into a layer.
What?
It splits me off from the rest of them.
It's fine.
What
For
the? That's cool. Yeah, so I'll say Meldronicus mentioned some divine magic to preserve the bodies. I don't know if you have access to it or we have to buy it. But...
I
You
don't,
literally have it because Heracles was mad at you.
I don't have access to that spell he was speaking of. I think if any of us can do it, it would be you, not me.
That's a divine only spell, isn't it? I don't have that spell. Gentle Repose is a...
I swear,
Gentle
Heracles.
Repose is
No, it's a wizard
for
spell.
cleric, oracle, shaman, sorcerer, wizard, witch.
Oh, yeah, I definitely do not have that spell.
But I know it is not something I am capable of casting. We'll have to try to find a scroll of it and see if you are capable of casting it. Well, I guess we're going to have to find multiple scrolls of it.
Well, if it is a wizard spell, then I would know that, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well...
Yeah, do you know who has the Gentle Repose?
The witch.
The witch?
Yeah, I wasn't sure how we did that, if she like added it to a familiar. I know Heracles sent something.
Yeah, she added it to her familiar.
Oh, okay. That's why Erebos can add it then too.
I'll buy it in town. It seems like money is a thing of the past with all this stuff we have.
Do you think we'll be able to... Well, I guess that spellcaster guy you were going to might just let you copy it, since we can't find scrolls.
It's a very easy... Wait, we can't find scrolls here?
They didn't want to sell us small consumable items here for low value. It's like they weren't worth enough to be worth them keeping around.
I'll teleport to another town and get it.
Okay.
Not today, though.
Just a chance of death.
Just for a Gentle Repose to save some money, yeah. But yeah, I guess our Erebos will begrudgingly help Ra. I assume she insists on putting these bodies in a proper state somehow.
Yeah, I would like to take them to each of their rooms and lay them on their beds for now, and hopefully we can get them reposed shortly, and I'll make sure to take Sphinx into an area where Glysator can go and join her, and I made sure and picked up Cassie's gun, so I'll put him in his bed and like put his gun on his like chest and yeah, and take Zeke. I'll definitely... I could do all the other ones myself, but I would need your help with Zeke. But take Zeke up to his
Glysator will help with
ridiculously
Zeke.
high. Okay. Yeah. Zeke was in one of the like big towers, and
I forgot about you. How do you feel about this?
It is sad that she is gone.
I know.
Well,
I know. Is Sean dead too?
Sean, oh yeah, Otto died.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I didn't know how that worked. I'll be really sad, and I don't think we can save Sean. I don't think there's a way to bring a familiar back, but
I cover my green sting scorpion's ears. I wouldn't waste diamond dust on a familiar.
I'll make Sean a cute little burial.
This is actually something I need to ask really quick. Was your familiar in extra dimensional space?
I mean, he's gone with me, so if I'd been in an extra dimensional space...
No. I mean, like, you weren't in range when the whale went off, correct? Or were you?
I was. It's dead.
Your familiar is dead. 100%.
Take out this... I'll find another one and flick it off.
Okay, I was gonna go bury Sean. You don't want me to bury it? Okay, well.
I'm very practical. These creatures are barely worth our time.
When you're looking for Sean, actually, Sean's nowhere to be found.
Weird. I wonder what happened to Sean. I can't find him.
Oh well.
But yeah, I'll get everyone settled with their items that I have for them, and...
You know anything about preserving bodies? Is it an emergency that I go overpay for Gentle Repose, or can they wait a day for me to go get it somewhere cheaper?
I don't know. Would that be knowledge religion?
That is knowledge religion, yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, you know there's a little bit of time.
Yeah, you should be able to wait a day, but I would say at the very most we need to figure out a solution for this tomorrow.
I don't want to. If Maldronicus does live, you'll never hear the end of it. If I cheaped out and lost the ability to heal them for one day, I'll just go pay the man his money and learn the spell today.
Sounds good.
So yeah, I'll go to our favorite magic dude and ask him for a copying of Gentle Repose.
He'll let you copy down he'll let you work on copying down a Gentle Repose, and he, in fact, in this case, won't charge you for Gentle Repose.
Well, this one's on the house? Why?
You've clearly lost something very important if you're here asking for Gentle Repose. You paid enough.
I mean, I've been asked to do this, but yeah, sure.
You don't care that people have died.
I mean, yes, of course I do. It's a terrible shame. I'll try and act like I care, but kind of...
A man after my own heart.
Speaking of which, I know you had a little witchy friend in there. Well, I don't know if I know that. Do I know that Sphinx was working behind there for him?
I don't. Somebody knew it, but I don't know exactly who it was.
Athius knew for sure.
Okay, maybe I don't know. You have a wide variety of shop of things, and as I become more advanced in my knowledge, I'm thinking of being able to create such items myself. You don't happen to know how to do this, do you?
Of course I do. Where do you think I get some of this stuff from? It's a lot of work for me, but if somebody else came along and wanted to do it, I'd be happy to farm it out.
Well, I have a proposition for you. I'm going to be in town for a while. I'm not sure how long. If you teach me how the art of crafting items, in exchange, I'll work for you on a commission basis, making items that you need.
You have yourself a deal.
Mechanically, I'm asking to be retrained feat for item creation.
No, he'll happily do that for you.
Okay.
It'll be much slower, though, than it would normally take. Because he will be about as lazy training you as you can imagine. That person who's basically already quit their job, training you on how to do something, style of training.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if it matters, but the feat I want to get rid of is augment summoning.
Okay.
I'm never doing that really much anymore.
Yep.
And then I want to get item creation or whatever.
Yep. Pick a craft and replace it in once we finish up the session.
Ooh.
So, I want to talk about what the future plans of your characters are. And Dan, we're not going to discuss yours because we're going to do something very special to see what happens to Maldronicus Ironhand.
Yep.
But for Ra and Aravos, what are your plans over the next few days, weeks, months?
I was talking a bunch. I don't know, Whitney, do you want to go? If not, I can go first.
Well, obviously, my first and foremost is making sure we get the bodies preserved, which obviously Arvos is working on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to start heavily researching where we might, we knew vaguely of where we could maybe get diamond dust at potentially higher prices. So I'm going to do more in-depth research on that, try to talk to people around town, maybe people here know where I could likely acquire it, or just that in general. And I think Ra would reach out and try to contact Tonelli, because I don't think she would hide any of this from Tonelli. I don't know exactly how I would go about doing that, though. I don't really have any spells or anything that would allow me to get in contact with them, so I guess I might have to go ask around the city as well and figure out if there's someone here who can help me get in touch with a particular person, send a message.
Arvos can do that. I have sending.
So yeah, I would say we should send a message to Tonelli and let him know what has happened. because I don't think Rob really knows what she does from here, or what, like, if I'm still in the military, if I'm going to be sent back to Crimson Council, if I'm just on my own and can do whatever the heck I want to do. Yeah, that's basically the only things I would be focusing on at the moment.
So, what is the message that Aravos would send then to Tonelli?
Well, I was going to say Arvos does not want to do this. So I don't know if you want us to like RP talking about that, but the general gist is Arvos would want to deny this request and say that we should bide our time and wait till they come asking for us, because they will probably reassign us or do some weird shit where we're not going to be okay with it and we need to deal with resurrecting our friends first and seeing if Maldronicus returns and stuff like that. And we'll deal with it if they come asking for us.
That is something I think the two of you should actually discuss.
Okay, yeah. So you say we should talk to Nelly, and I said,
a couple other things was,
Sure.
I don't know if any of us are able to do the Speak with Dead, but obviously we need to look into that, because we need to even find out if any of, I think it's customary that before you resurrect someone, you try to speak with them to see, like, what their...
Yeah, because otherwise you could just waste a bunch of diamonds and get nothing.
Yeah, and especially if it's like that expensive.
well, that's up to you. You're the cleric.
I'm not a cleric.
Or
I have a cleric spell.
divine person.
Do I even have access to that?
It's a cleric, inquisitor.
Oh,
It's definitely not a wizard spell.
I don't know how I go about doing that, because I can't. I guess I should just be able to cast scrolls of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that will be difficult. I'll have to find scrolls of it, which means we might have to teleport to another city, unless someone, and I could talk to Nips, whatever her name is, and see if she is willing or able to get me scrolls of it. I know they don't usually do that, but she might be willing to do that for me. Yeah.
All right, yeah, you come to Arvos for the sending request, and he says, Ra, you see, like I said in the castle in front of Mal, I think our best bet is to wait for them to find or get in touch with us.
And you don't think Tonelli's going to be pissed if he comes to find us in a month and we tell him that 2/3 of the party has been dead for a month?
Neither of us are experts in military affairs, so we were working on what we're actually doing. We don't tell the truth. We're trying to resurrect our friends, and we're waiting for Maldronicus. And we don't know how long he's out. Maybe he'll be back tomorrow. If it gets past a week or so,
but
we'll
even
revisit.
if Maldronicus comes back, I think we would still be contacting Tonelli to let him know that half of our group has perished. It's a pretty big deal when we're a military unit.
Yes, but use your head. If we tell him that everyone is pretty much dead except for us two, what do you think is going to happen? He's going to reassign us or send us away. And I don't want to deal with that at the moment. There's too much going on. Or maybe
just null and void our contracts at that point. You don't.
Oh yes, and he'll grow wings and give you a sugar fairy plum kiss.
You
think it's going to be that easy?
You realize serving in these organizations has been my life. Maybe you hate it, but I don't.
Well, I am opposed to giving this. It only ends bad for us. If you have any hopes in resurrecting your friends, he probably will send them away or not even think it's worth it. Who knows what he'll do? You want to leave it to chance? Or
I'm willing to wait until we get them resurrected, or until we are sure we can't. But as soon as that is done with, I'm sending a message with or without your help.
Fine.
What is
Arvos' time for?
Yeah. What are Arvos' future plans?
So immediate plans is the gentle repose, making a deal with this wizardy friend here to retrain to learn item creation. I think Arvos is taken to more of the knowledge side of magic and wants to work on spell research and that sort of stuff. Obviously helping Ra in this endeavor to find the diamond dust or sources of it to perhaps a path forward to resurrecting these people. I would try sending Maldronicus messages in a few hours, see if I get responses. Obviously, I would try every few days. If I don't hear a response within a certain time, I would assume he's dead at that point. The first night back, I will look into the thing we talked about, although there's only one person to do it to now.
Mm-hmm.
So I would purchase these things. I can message you if you forget what those were. But I would purchase those things and look for a scroll in my bag that wasn't there before in the first night.
You'll know that you don't need that.
I was looking to remove more than that, but maybe Thoth would be on the same wavelength. But if I don't get the scroll, I'll still purchase those things.
Okay.
And yeah, if I don't see a scroll, then I would take that as fine. And I think Aravos is definitely not okay with being conscripted anymore to the military if he's confident Mal's dead. And so basically he would try to find out what's in his contract some way, either through research of other military contracts that people have recorded or people that are very familiar with standard conscription contracts. Some way I can make a basis for my decision, whether to trust letting Tonelli decide my fate if I would be free or not. I guess based on that knowledge, then I would decide whether or not I want to stick around to message him or not.
Okay.
But overall, I think Aravos's goals are pretty. I think I've discussed them with you, but generally, it's the dismantling his father's empire, working on that spell, and using that spell on his father. I wanted him to be the first victim of it, and the second victim is the Raven. He's on Aravos's death note. Well, actually, I don't remember if you told me that out of character or in character. Basically, I would obviously want to check in on the Raven. I assume with some deduction, I would realize he's fucking me over at some point, and he'll earn a spot on the second victim of Aravos's new spell. And from there, it's more about, since I've taken that item creation feat, and I have craft rod and that sort of stuff, I think I'd be working on spell research and once I'm confident, well, it depends on how things go. So assuming I'm piecing out for the military, I'm beginning on those tasks that I have of going to Akonsant and those sort of things. So I would be working on my path towards those things.
All right.
So lots to do for Aravos.
Yeah. So part of the question behind this is there are a lot of things that are, as of yet, unanswered. And one of them, probably the most important thing, is can Maldronicus survive? So, I think that is something that we may resolve after a short break.